This tutorial will show you how to register on GISTnet. The first thing you need is a user record. Do not create a user record if you already have one. Your user record will allow you to access the system and any trial features. There's no cost to do this. Begin at your company learning page, or if your company doesn't have one, the GISTnet main page, and select Guest User Registration. The Register as a GISTnet Guest or User page tells you that if you've ever registered with GISTnet, you are already registered and you do not need to register again. If you have registered before and you don't remember your login information, use the Look Up a Lost Username or Password link, and it will be sent to the email address you registered with. As a registered user, parts of the website are already available to you as a guest. Other areas, such as the library, glossary, and country guides, are only accessible through a subscription. If your organization has a subscription and you have not yet been associated, you may request addition as an authorized user by clicking on the Request Addition to Organization link. The link can be found on the GISTnet main page or the Register as a GISTnet Guest or User page. This link should not be used for an individual subscriber. In order to request addition to the organization, you will need to know the identification number and the admission code. If you have not received a code along with your ID, leave that field blank. An admission code can be used to limit the users requesting addition to the organization. Your request will be sent to your company's training administrator, and you will receive an email once the request has been approved. Contact your training administrator if you need help. If you have never registered, then go ahead and select the link to register with GISTnet. GISTware is the system that hosts GISTnet. The GISTware user agreement addresses content ownership, copyright, and liability limitations. It must be agreed to in order to continue. The language is a lot simpler than what you would see on the back of an airway bill or bill of lading. Once you have agreed to the terms, you will then enter your information. At a minimum, you must answer the items with an asterisk for the system to operate properly and for us to support the people using it. Email addresses and usernames can only be used on one account. If you are registering with an email address or username that is already associated with an account, the system will not allow you to register. Try using the Look Up Lost Password feature first. If the username you chose is not available, you will need to use a different one. At the bottom, you will self-assign a username and password. Usernames must be at least 4 alphanumeric characters long with no punctuation and start with a letter. At some point, in order to gain access to many of the features in GISTnet, you will need to be associated with an organization that has a subscription. When you submit registration, you will be given the option of requesting association with a company, but you do not need to be associated at that time. The company can subsequently associate you with their organizational subscription. That can be an organization for a free 30-day trial, your employer, a trade association, educational institute, or your own organization as an individual. We are subject to the European Internet security laws because we operate globally, so there has to be mutual consent between the individual and the organization to have the association occur. Normally, when we add a new subscription with many people, the data is preloaded in the system, and then each user completes the registration by self-assigning their username and password. That also creates the mutual consent. It's just an additional layer of privacy. If you would like us to preload users, please contact us. Once you have access, you will have a personal page. To find it, go to the GISTnet main page and select My Personal Page and log in. That will take you to your My page. Any assigned training will be waiting, and you will see the libraries for the organizations you are associated with. If you have requested admission to an organization and you have not yet been admitted, you will see a message on your My page, and you will not see any assignments. Don't worry, it may take some time, or you may need to contact your training administrator. To summarize, If you are not registered and you have not received an email with a link, use the registration link on the main page. If you have received an email with a link, follow the link to sign in or enter your information and get registered. Once registered, make sure you are associated with an organization that has a subscription in order to take advantage of all GISTnet has to offer. If you don't see the organization listed on your My Page, or it says you are waiting for admission, check for an email with a link to get associated. If all else fails, contact your training administrator or staff at GISTnet for assistance. If you have questions about registration, please call or email us. If you have comments or feedback, please use our Insta feedback feature. Thank you.